Okay, hello. So, I have a hard time saying no, okay? I'm learning. But when it comes to cooking, it's really tough to say no, right? Food is love. Yes? No? Okay, so today I am going to show you guys how to make flan and arroz con leche. So hopefully the next time you have flan, whether it's good or bad, you appreciate everything that went into, hi Yola! Make sure that you appreciate everything that went into making that flan, okay? I love to cook, but you'll see. So you're gonna have to excuse the angle. I was trying to figure out the best way to make sure you guys don't miss a thing. And then I thought, I need to make sure that you all also see step by step, okay? So get your notepads and be ready. Hello, Chelsea. All right, so the key thing is one of these, okay? You can get it for about $9 on Amazon, but this is critical for having a good flan, okay? So I'm gonna put that aside. So go ahead and preheat your oven to 375. So we're gonna bake, 350, okay? Nice and slow. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let that preheat. Now, another key thing, okay? Flan, how do they say it? Baño Maria. Now, this is the secret, okay? Oh, you know what? Why don't I silence my phone real quick? So sorry. Totally forgot to do that. There we go. Now, you want a pan that is going to halfway submerge this little beautiful flan maker, okay? So while my oven is preheating, I am going to put some water in here, okay? Now, if you have an extra of these, you dip it to make sure that your water doesn't overflow. But I know this dish well enough to know halfway is enough so that when I put my full pan in, it's not going to splash everywhere, okay? So this, you see that? Water, you're going to put it in the oven. So that's what's going to help bake your flan, okay? It's that nice custard, consistency. All right, so next we are going to get, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm getting excited. Okay, get your mixing bowl, okay? Now, in the mixing bowl, this is evaporated milk, okay? Hi, Chris. And then this is sweet condensed milk. Do not get them confused, okay? Because sometimes Carnation also does sweet condensed milk. So 1 and 1, okay? So I hope you always wash the tops of your pans, because in factories and places, you never know what's there, okay? So let's go ahead. We're gonna open these and put them into our pan. Now, are you kidding me? There we go, okay. Let's see how else this is. Now, don't do that. Normally, and it's also great to have music blasting while you're cooking, okay? You just gotta get in the zone. Zone it out. Okay, sweet condensed milk is very obviously sweet. If you haven't tasted it, it's like, how can I describe it? Not like caramel. I don't want to say it tastes like goat cheese, like very sweet goat cheese, but it does have a distinct sweet flavor to it. All right, so scoop as much of that out. Now, if you know cajeta, it tastes a lot like cajeta. All right, So now I'm going to take my milk here, and you want to make sure you shake them, okay? Open that. Okay. And you're going to pour it in your bowl. If you have an electric mixer, I totally recommend you using your mixer. I do have one, but oh, well, hello, Master Givens. Thank you. If you don't have a mixer, don't worry, you can still totally rock this. All right, so now 3 eggs. Crack. Now don't get any shell up in there because that is not going to be okay. So 3 eggs. So again, 1 can of condensed milk, 1 can of evaporated milk, and 3 eggs, and 1 tablespoon of really good vanilla, okay? Now, there is a secret ingredient, and I was telling myself I cannot share my secret ingredient, okay? So, my secret ingredient mixed in there, I mean, this recipe is a classic, so you don't have to worry that you're missing out on that one secret ingredient. Can't give away all my secrets, right? Okay, so I'm mixing that into the vanilla. Make sure that it's all nice and pretty, and here we go. And what did I do? Here we go. I'm gonna scoop all that goodness out. Okay. Now, you wanna make sure that you mix it very, very well, okay? Otherwise, you're going to get clumpy, weird flavored flan, and you definitely don't want that. So, really simple, right? Really simple ingredients. Now, the key again is make sure you mix thoroughly. Okay. Now, here's part of the tricky thing. Shall I divulge? Not yet. I'm not ready to give up all my secrets yet. Now, if you've ever tasted this flan, you will know what this secret is. Now, the brand, each brand is totally different, right? So, what you're gonna do, again, you wanna make sure that you have a Mexican brand flan thingy, because this step could be tricky if you don't have a good flan. I don't even know what this is called. I should have done my homework and looked it up. But anyway, Amazon, totally. All right, so 1 cup of sugar over medium heat directly into this pan, okay? Now, my oven is almost at 350, which is good. Now, you have to stir this. You cannot leave this sugar unattended because it will totally burn. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run and leave it unattended for a sec while I grab my pot holders. Okay. Now, what you are going to see is the sugar is slowly going to start to melt, okay? Then you want to make sure it doesn't clump up. Do not put water thinking that it will hasten the process, because I did that once upon a time. I've done this more times than I'd like to admit. Okay, so the oven is ready. And it was hilarious, okay. I've burned pans, I've done all the mistakes I could have done to make sure I perfected this for you guys, okay? And now it's a hit. And I'd like to say that when I have flan like at work, it's like gone. As soon as they know about it, I dish it out, it's gone. So it's that good. I love it. But it's one of those things where you have to not make too much because it'll get straight to your hips, and who wants that, right? Okay, who else is here? Hola, Irma. So, again, we are making flan. Recap in case you didn't have your notebook earlier. You want 1 can of sweet condensed milk, 1 can of evaporated milk. You want 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Make sure it's authentic, it's not the imitation crap stuff. 3 eggs, And then you are going to melt down 1 cup of sugar. And you want to make sure that you have one of these nice dandy little flan makers, okay, that come with the lid. In my oven, I have a baking dish half full of water that is getting ready for this to be placed in the middle of it so that it'll soak. And you want to, again, keep stirring your sugar so that it does not burn. If it burns, it's going to ruin the whole thing. It's going to taste burnt, and you definitely do not want that. Okay. So keep stirring. Okay. And again, these are great. You put it directly on the fire, so you don't have to worry about anything. Just going to stir this up here again. Now, normally I would have this going on my my mixer. Hola, Irma. But again, you know, if you don't have a mixer, if you don't have a, oh, you know what? You can also use a blender. Blender works just fine. But with the blender though, I notice you get a lot of those little bubbles, which, you know, it's not going to ruin it, but again, if you have a lot of those little bubbles, it does make it a little bit of a different consistency. Now, again, you have to be patient with this. I'm already trying to rush it for the sake of not keeping you guys up too long, but you know what? It's a process. It is totally a process. Now, let me show you what it looks like right now, just so you guys know what to expect. Okay, hold on, let's do this without catching these on fire. Okay, can you see that? All right, so let's put it back on the fire and let's keep it going before it gets cold. So you are looking for a honey consistency, okay? That's what we want. We want the sugar to melt down so that it looks like honey. Now, it takes, once you get it to that point, it takes seconds, okay? From it to go nice, melted caramel to burnt, nasty, no good. So if you have little ones, okay, make sure that they're very well entertained, because if you turn around to tend to them, who knows? Besitos. All right. Okay. It is absolutely hot. Another reason why I don't normally do this during the hot season, it's because it's hot. You're standing at a hot oven over a really hot stove. Now, I was going to attempt to do that arroz con leche as I'm doing this. However, I thought, you know what? Again, because of the sugar, this is like the most challenging part that you don't want to mess up. Okay. Now, if you ever have flan and the caramel is just like really, really loose and watery, that is an indicative that they didn't do this. They cheated. They used some sort of liquid sweetener, which we don't want. We want to make sure this is as authentic as it gets. Now, as far as brands, for the sweet condensed milk, I do like La Lechera. I have done this in a modified, low-fat, low-sugar version. It's good. It's still better than anything you can get in a restaurant and in the store, but you do taste a mild difference, okay? So I'm going all fat, all sugar today because I haven't done this in a minute, and why not, right? Okay, so we're getting there. Now, sometimes you'll start to notice these little clumps. Now, let me turn this down because it is getting to the point. Okay, here we go. I want to move that over here. Stir out those little clumps. And if you're not careful, and if you're not fast, this is going to harden up on you. So let me stir this real quick. And let me show you guys what this should look like. Okay. Now look at this. guys can see that. Can you see? Oh boy, tricky. All right. There we go. Let me put this down. Okay. Sorry. It is super hot. And then, so here I am directly going to pour in the sweet condensed milk, the eggs, the vanilla, and let's see, my evaporated milk. And as you can see, it fits perfectly, okay? So you don't want to add any more liquid, you don't want to add any more of anything because then it'll overflow. And, hi Tina. Okay, I'm going to use a fork to take this off because these are hot, so remember, don't burn yourself. Now, here goes the lid. Okay, you're gonna put the lid directly, obviously, on your pan. Carefully seal it. And that is still pretty hot. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter if you have a gas range or electric, because I've used these pans on both. All right, so again, protect your fingers, do not burn yourself. You'll get crafty in the kitchen and all sorts of doodads. Okay, making sure that I seal it properly. Okay. And let's see. There. All right. What you will not see is I'm going to go, you know what if I pull you guys back this way and lower that a little. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. Open your oven. All right. And here is my dish with half full of water, okay? Now remember, this is hot. So, you know what? There's my spatula. Okay. I'm gonna use this to lower it in, trying to minimize the splashing. There we go. Okay, and it's in. Okay, there. So now that will cook for about 90 minutes, okay? You just leave it alone. You don't want to open the oven, okay? Don't fiddle with it. So again, the ingredients: 1 can of sweet condensed milk, 1 can of evaporated milk, 3 eggs, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 1 cup of sugar that's melted down into caramel. Okay, so now for the arroz con leche, you're gonna take a pot, right? And fill it up with water halfway. Okay, and you are going to bring that to a boil. So now we are moving on to our arroz con leche. There we go. And for that, let's come closer. Hello, everybody. Okay, let's see. And so it's 7:51, so let's set the timer for, okay. Now I am going to do 3 cinnamon sticks. Now, you could use the cinnamon powder. Actually, you know what? Let's do 4. Cinnamon powder, but you know what? The cinnamon sticks actually do a lot better. It gives it a more of an intense flavor, and also it makes your house smell so good, so good. So definitely use your 4 sticks. All right. So next, piloncillo. Okay. You can find this in the Mexican section of the store, okay, or any Mexican grocery store. And what this is, it's basically a cone of brown sugar, Okay, again, you could use brown sugar, and if you're trying to watch, well, you can't really watch your carbs, but if you want to modify it and do it a little bit on this, what's it called? Low fat, low sugar kind of thing, you could use, let's see, the Splenda brown sugar. That also is really good. Actually, that is a great substitute now that I think of it. It's really sweet and you don't need a lot of it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is carefully unwrap this, but you know, I'm trying to get ahead of myself here. But it's best to put the sugar in when it's starting to boil. So I'm gonna put that over here. Right. And let's see, I want to use this one. Okay, so again, we've got our flan going in its little bath, and then we're going to bring this cinnamon to a boil. And you know what, I'm going to start stirring in the sugar. So, want to break it nice and evenly. And that's what's going to give your arroz con leche that sweet taste. And it's going to give it that rich, nice, brownish color to it. You know, some arroces con leche do come out looking more whitish, and that's quite all right too. They probably use the plain table sugar, which again, I mean, there's different ways. That's a great thing about cooking, is that you can add certain things, you can take certain things away, you can make them your own. But this is definitely my own here. And it's already starting to smell like Christmas. Yes. My dream was to have a kitchen with 2 double ovens. Someday. I'm working on that. Working on that. All right. Let's see here. So while that is going, all right, I'm not gonna have you guys sit here and watch for forevers, because this here, it's pretty simple, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna let this pot come to a boil, okay? Once your pot comes to a boil and the brown sugar cone has dissolved, you're going to add your 2 cups of white rice, okay? You can use jasmine rice. That jasmine rice is good. I do not recommend nishiki rice, the sticky sushi rice, because you want the arroz con leche to have some form to it. And if you use a sticky rice, it becomes too thick. But if you like the thicker rice pudding type, then totally go that way. Okay, then another thing that I love to do is I put a little bit of ground cloves and some pumpkin spice, okay? Again, you're just gonna sprinkle it in. You don't have to put too much. You don't want to overpower, but you want to have enough bang, okay? Now, another thing that I love to do is put some of this sweet condensed milk, okay? This also is going to give it a sweet kick, okay? Now, do not forget your vanilla. You also need to add, I would put about 1 to 2 tablespoons of vanilla. You know, growing up, my grandma used to say a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It used to drive me nuts, because back in the day, it's like I would follow recipes to the letter. And it's like, if the recipe didn't call for something, I wouldn't add it. I just would follow recipes. So when I would ask her, well, Grandma, how'd you make this? She's like, oh, un poquito de esto, un poquito de otro. I'm like, how? What does that mean? Now I know what she meant. You have to taste as you go. You know, because if you just, I don't know, to me, you add more life to it if you taste as you go. Because again, it's like, imagine, you know, that movie Ratatouille, I can totally relate to that. How he just kind of would taste and add a few more of this and that until you get it just right. So again, I can tell you step by step how I do it. go ahead, follow it because they're great recipes. But you know what? Add your own twist to it. Another thing that I love to add to my arroz con leche that not a lot of people are fond of are raisins. Now, golden raisins are sweet, but the black regular raisins get a little bit more plumper and add this other taste. Hi, Margarita, thank you. Now, the very last step, okay? Hi, Kim. The very last step with your arroz con leche is you're going to want to add milk. Again, that is something that's totally your personal preference. Me, I don't add a lot of milk at the end because I do like it a little thicker. And then also, you know, the sweet part about that is if you have someone that likes it really loose, like soupy, they can add more milk to it and it'll be fine. But the thing is, you'll watch? You'll watch me? Okay. So, let's see, it's getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so if you put too much milk when you're done, you can't reduce it unless you, no, it's like once you get to that point, it's a goner, you're done. But if you don't put too much, then you can totally add to it as you go, which to me it's like heaven. All right. Oh, ladies, I am dying in here, okay? Whew, it's like 90-something degrees outside in sunny California. Not that I'm complaining about this rain. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. All right, well, I will keep going. Thank you. Okay. So, let's see. Where was I? Okay, so I'm trying to break up this cinnamon cone. Let me show you what's left of it. See? It's reducing. So keep stirring. Again, just like with the flan, you don't want to leave it alone, okay? Because if you leave it alone, you run the risk of it reducing too much and then burning. You don't want that. Okay. But yeah, so last week I was in Oklahoma and I totally love California. This is home. Born and raised in California, there's no place like home. As soon as I got out of the airport, it's like I got hit with a brick of humidity. It was something else. Now, I had leggings on, I had my boots on, I had a dress, a jacket. I mean, it was to a point where I need to start taking stuff off because this is not working. So that was day one in Oklahoma. I thought, okay. So I go to my conference on the second day. Was it the second day? It started raining on and off. On the third day I was there, the second day of the conference, I come into the conference and it was raining. I thought, holy wow. And see, another thing about me, if you don't know, I like to walk. And I will take the stairs instead of the elevator kind of thing. So I thought, you know what, let me walk to the conference. So I thought, oh, well, you know what, now I can say I walked in the rain. So I am so happy to be back. All right, so here we go. It's almost, you know what, I wish I could show you guys what it looks like. Let me grab the phone. All right, let's see here so you guys can see. Okay, you see that? All right, so it's almost ready for the rice. Okay, let's tighten that. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, let's see here. All right. Now here goes 2 cups. Now, I'll tell you another thing. The nurse part of me says that is totally wrong. But the flavor side of me says, you know what? it gives it more flavor. So I do not wash the rice before putting it in, okay? That again is totally up to you whether you want to or not. But when you wash the rice, you know, all that smell vision, oh yes, the house smells heavenly right now. It really does smell like Christmas, okay? The cinnamon is infusing the air, and then the sugar is just now with the rice in there. Okay, so when you're washing rice, do you see all that white starch that starts coming out? Okay, so in my mind, that's the flavor. And it's like, okay, dirty rice versus more flavor, you wait out. So I just put it in there. And you know, so far I haven't gotten sick, nobody else has gotten sick. Now, again, once you put the rice in, if you want to turn down the flame and walk away and then come back, but just keep stirring at it, you definitely can do that, okay? But what you're looking for, again, it's one of those things where I can't say, you know what, 5 minutes and go. You have to watch it. It's once you start to see that the rice gets a little soft, then you know, okay, it's time for the next step. But little by little. Now, the very end is when you're going to want to put the sweet condensed milk. But right now, we're basically letting the rice soften up and cook. Now, what I will do is put in my vanilla. See, I'm going to do 1 tablespoon. Okay. Again, you can put as much or as little as you want, but with me, I like my arroz con leche to have flavor. I don't want it just to taste like rice with milk in it. That to me is a little boring. Like if you go to the store and you can buy the arroz con leche, but it's like so thick, and when you dip into it, it's almost like you're eating like vanilla pudding. It doesn't have any taste. Okay, so another thing I'm going to do right now is I am going to go ahead and put in the pumpkin spice. Now, again, this is more of an aromatic. Okay. Now, with these spices, a little goes a long way. Okay, a little goes a long way. A lot, and it's just going to be too flavorful, too overpowering. All right, same thing with the cloves. Now, the cloves, it's just like a little shake, and that's it. Okay. Now, let me stir that. Now, if too much of the water starts to evaporate, add more water, okay? Now, professional cooks would have a pot of boiling water ready to go. I maybe forgot that step. So I am just going to wing it here because it is reducing. It is reducing, but I still have enough water in there. Again, too much water is going to water the flavors down, okay? So again, you want to make sure you balance everything if you want a good, flavorful arroz con leche. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, because I just realized all my stuff for my flan is sitting here hardening. Yeah, see, if this happens, soak it in really hot water. If you have boiling water, even better, because that'll help take it off. But yeah, normally once you're done and you put your flan into the oven, take care of your utensils. So I'm just going to soak these for right now. Okay. Now, if you're just hopping on, our flan is in the oven. Yes, and right now we are working on our arroz con leche. And what I have in the pot right now, I have 4 sticks of cinnamon. Again, you can substitute that for cinnamon powder, but trust me, it's not going to give you the same flavor, the same effect. I have 1 stick of piloncillo. which is like a Mexican cone-shaped brown sugar, and I have 2 cups of rice simmering here. And what I'm doing, oh, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. So we're gonna let this rice cook down, get nice and soft before I go on to the next step. And you know, I'm gonna step away just for a sec so I can see if I can find any raisins, because I totally want raisins in this. Hold on. Both. Okay, so golden raisins, these are great for cooking. Okay, they're very sweet and mild. These obviously are your regular raisins. So I'm gonna put both of them in there because I'm feeling like I totally want double raisins today. Do you have to put raisins in there? No, you don't. But they are delish. Another thing I have put in are dried cranberries. Oh, I also have chopped up prunes into little itty bitty raisin sized bits. That's good too. Again, that's the wonderful thing about cooking. You know, you can do whatever you want with it, really. As long as you have the fundamentals and you just think, you know, cooking takes time, it takes patience. Can't rush it, because then you can totally tell. And you know, another thing, love. I know it's like an oxymoron, or you know, it's like, how can you put love into it? But when you're cooking and you think about who you're gonna feed with it, you know, it just kind of brings a new life to it. It's not just something you throw in there and it's like, well, whatever, it is what it is. No, but you definitely just put yourself into it. You know, take your time. Taste it. Thank you. But yes, all right, so you know, this is cooking down a little bit much. So I'm gonna put some water in there. Okay, so we still have a little ways to go here. Okay. And I'm getting a little OCD here because I see too many things and I want to start cleaning up. And again, cinnamon sticks. It is very therapeutic. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Now, I have this huge speaker. Some of you have probably seen it, heard it. You know, I normally right now I would totally have my speaker on, and I don't dance, but I will dance in my own kitchen by my lonesome. Sometimes my kids can get to see that, but totally, you just get into it. Okay. All right, my dears. All right, let me just finish putting these away, these spices. You know what? Let's see. Let's see how this is coming along. So, sweet, 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 sweet. Another thing I totally recommend, have several sets of spoons, like a ton, because if you're tasting as you go, you obviously don't want to double dip, okay? So having lots and lots of spoons handy is very, very helpful in the kitchen. All right. So here we go. Now, if you're using the black raisins, you want to put those in right when the rice is starting to reduce a bit more, like getting a little soft. I don't want to say al dente because that's for pasta, because the more that they cook, the fatter they get. So when you bite into them, it's just like nice and juicy. Okay. So here we go. You know what, Kim? It's the kids. I'm sorry, but the kids are thieves of spoons. You know what they do? They will put them in their backpack, take them to school, and they just like disappear into Neverland. Or there's been times where I find them in the garbage because lo and behold, for some reason, they end up getting thrown away. C'est la vie, I don't know. So I usually will go into the little Walmart aisle where they have like 5 spoons for $1 kind of thing, because I'm over all my nice spoons. I had a really nice set. All gone. Maybe I have 1 or 2 left of that whole set, but the butter knives are still there. But the forks and the spoons, those are long gone. Okay. So I'm gonna wash my hands real quick so I can feel a grain of rice and see where we're at. So another thing you want to do is kind of make sure you wash your hands as you go too, especially if you're dealing with meats. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So let's see how we're going here. Okay. So the outside of the rice is still, it is soft, but the inner grain is still a bit hard. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm living. Oh. You know, it takes time. It takes time to learn how to cook, because you know what? I thought it's really a science. It's a science, because you're mixing different energies, different things, and you're converting them to something totally different. It's insane. Yeah, so it's like a science project. Think of cooking like a science project. That sounds awful. I just said, you know. But yeah, one little chemical, one little ingredient has a potential to make it or break it. And you know what? If you didn't get it right that one time, try it again. And try it again until you perfect it. So I'm telling you, let's see. I started making flan about 9-10 years ago almost. And it took me many tries, many years to get it down to the point where people are looking for it. And I'll let you guys in on a secret. That flan is going to be served at poker night tomorrow. Poker night starts at 7 p.m. So, first come, first serve. And I was going to make 2. Hi! Chocolate fudge soup. That's good. I hope it was delicious because it sounds good. It's like something like chocolate mousse. But yeah, so those that make it in on time to poker night will have the privilege of tasting that flan. Now, if somebody gets smart and takes the whole piece as one piece and eats it all, I'm sorry. Well, you know what, CJ? Try it again. Try it again. And again until you get it right. I promise. It'll happen. It'll come. Okay, so I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. And it's still going. I need to add more water. And of course, I put all my cups into the sink. Okay. Now, another thing is I have 3 sets of measuring cups and spoons. And right before I went live, I broke the handle off of my 1 cup. So again, that's another thing you can never have enough of in the kitchen. Poker night. Yes. Okay, not cash, quarters. Quarter is the top bid. We can't raise it anymore. That's what we're sticking at. Because it's all about having fun, about getting together, getting to know each other better, not leaving all cry boo-hoo because they lost money. That's not the point. You know, and let me tell you another story. Why poker night? I'm not really the gambling kind of girl. I'll tell you another story actually now that I think of it. So I would go to the casinos with my dad. He would give me $20. He's like, go. Because, see, I would follow him around and I would not put any money into those darn gambling machines. So he would give me 20 and I literally would then take my own dollar out. You know, I'd save his 20 there to go treat him to dinner or whatever it is that we were doing. And I would put $1 into the penny machine. And, you know, next time you come by, Kim, we totally need to get together. Life has been very interesting for me here lately. But yes, I need to do this more. I need to do this more for myself. But anyway, so back to that $1 I would put into the slot machine. I would just sit there and play that same dollar and I would win. And then, you know, but the thing is, when I gamble, it's like, if I put $1 in, I will cash out when I'm at 3, and I will not put more money in. Because, yeah, so, again, why poker night? Because growing up, poker was big in our family. And Grandma and Grandpa would walk over to my house every evening, and we would play poker. And it was always for quarters. And we would have our Ziploc bags full of quarters ready for the next day. And those were good memories, great memories. And I want to, in a way, kind of reintroduce that and have my boys experience that, because it's those traditions, those things, those little things that used to do that, you know, many, many, many years later you still remember and you still cherish. So that's why poker night. So yes, I do know how to play, and I have been known to win hands more than once. And at the same time, if you don't know how to play, I was thinking about doing like, let's learn how to play poker. But yes, so that is why we're gonna have a poker night. All right, let me rinse my hands off again so I can see if we're ready to put the raisins in. Let's see here. So again, I'm just gonna take 1 little grain of rice. All right. Still a little hard, but we're definitely getting there. And see, if you've been watching for a minute, it takes time. As much as I want to rush this, you really can't. You need to baby it. Let it grow into what it's going to be. Now let me get... Now, I normally do not measure these out. Oh shoot, nutmeg. Yes, we didn't sprinkle the nutmeg in there. Of course, and it's sealed. Let me see if I have an open one. To open my nutmeg. Again, another good thing for you to get accustomed to doing is smell as you go, okay? You smell that, okay, this is a strong smell, so I don't want to put too much into it because then it might overpower it. Now, if you smell something, doesn't smell too strong, but you're not familiar with it, taste it. Taste it. because there's times where I have this idea of I'm gonna mix this and this and this, and when it gets down to it, as I taste it, it's like, no, that is not going to be okay. So, there we go. Now I'm gonna put this away, and I'm going to toss these out. I'm gonna wash my hands again. Okay. Now, I'm tempted to put more water in there. I'm gonna do that. So you know what, let me let you see what I see. Hold on, I need to untwist this a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Can you see that? So it looks nice and thick, right? Okay. So, let's put you back here. And, okay. Hopefully my phone doesn't go flying off. So, if you all watched my live like maybe 3 weeks ago or something, I broke my new ring light stand. It was hilarious, but got it fixed. So now I'm just hoping I don't drop my phone. Okay, so again with the raisins, you want to wing it. You want to eyeball it actually. You want to see how much you want. Again, it depends on your taste. If you want raisins, great. If you don't want raisins, that's great. But I am going to go ahead and put, what is this? This is 2/3 cups of our brown raisins. All right, you know what? I definitely need more water in here. Okay. And it still smells so aromatic that I'm not worried about putting more water in there. But, okay. Now it came down, so I want to bring it up to a boil again. So, I am also going to add some golden raisins. Alright. So, what I have going on in here, we've got 4 sticks of cinnamon that were brought to a boil with 1 cone of piloncillo. And then we added 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And then we added 2 cups of rice. And we have been adding water as needed. And then we added 3/4 cup of black raisins. And now I'm going to add the golden raisins. I will totally teach you guys how to play poker. And you know what? I was thinking, what if I go live? What if I go live and just show you the different hands in poker? Because it's really easy. Once you know what you're looking for, it's simple. It really is. There's a bunch of, like 21. I don't know how to play 21. And honestly, I don't have the patience, nor do I want to sit there and try to count cards and oh, that's just too much for me. So no. Oops, excuse me. Not 21. Okay. Now, let me throw this away. And I'm going to taste it because we're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost done. Almost. Okay. Okay, so when the flan is done, okay, and I might let it go another half an hour because, let's see, we did 90 minutes. Again, it's an eyeball kind of thing. You don't want it to be liquidy. You want it to look formed, but you don't want it burnt on top, okay? And that's where the baño de María comes into play because it's going to help cook it evenly. You know, I have one upstairs. I have one at his dad's house, and then I have another one over here on his phone. So there, two of them are home, and the little puppy dog is running around somewhere. But yes. Okay. Now, there we go. Okay, so the flan. Back to the flan. Because I'm not going to keep you guys all that time. This is almost done. So what we do is you carefully pull out the whole baking dish with the water and the flan, okay? Hi! Alright, so then I use either 2 spatulas or 2 forks, but you want to make sure you do this carefully so you do not burn yourself, okay? You do not want to burn yourself. You're going to lift the flan pan out of the hot water, and you're going to put it on a pot holder, okay? So let that cool down a little bit. Carefully take the lid off to, again, let it cool down. Now, do not think that it's going to be ready like right then and there, okay? You need, gracias, you need to let it set, let it cool down, and then put it back into the fridge overnight, okay? So once you put it in the fridge overnight, the next day, you know what? I'm going to have to show you guys how to take it out tomorrow. I will totally go live for that so you guys can see that, okay? Because, again, it is a very slow process. You don't want to mess up your flan. You want it to come out nice and evenly. So again, what you want to do is let it cool off overnight in the fridge. You'll take a butter knife, go all around the edges, get a dish that is a bit bigger than your flan pan, invert it, and wait for it to come down. Now, if it's still really stuck, again, you just want to take, or you know what, you can even put your butter knife in hot water to warm it up a little bit, and then go around the edges and let it loosen up that way. Okay, let me rinse off my hands to taste this and make sure, see how we're doing. Okay. Okay, almost, maybe another 5 minutes. Okay. And you know what, I'm gonna put a little bit more water. Still want it to cook down, but now I am going to add my sweet condensed milk. I have a child here, but I don't think he is in any kind of condition to say hello at the moment.
That would be considered child pornography.
You don't need to say that out loud, thank you very much. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Now, if you are sugar conscientious, skip this piece. You don't need it. But, of course, if you want some great arroz con leche that tastes different and better, then, yeah, you want to add that. And that in. You know, have you guys had chorizo con papa? I was wondering, if you guys want, I can totally go on live and show you guys how to make some killer chorizo con papa. There we go. Let's add that goodness in there. How many of you guys add sweet condensed milk? Anybody? I'm going to save this because there's still a lot of goodness in there and just stir. You want some, Jen? Come on over. This is almost done, almost. Oops, there goes splashing. Okay. Here we go. Who's on still? Anybody? Anybody still on watching? We have our flan in. Hi Tina, Yaru. It is actually pretty good. And I don't say it just to say it. I learned from Jose when we were in Mexico. Okay, yes. But see, I repeat what others say, and they say it's pretty darn good. But, and I actually had requests to have this done for tomorrow, so you know what? I'm doing it. Okay. There we go. Bye.
Well, I'm good.
You're watching. Alright, let me rinse. Again. So we don't want any cooties in here. Okay. Good. Good, 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 good. So now I'm going to go run and get the milk. So now it's smelling like cinnamon con cajeta and a bunch of good spices. Alright, so let me show you right before I add the milk. Okay, can you guys see that? Now, if you want to leave it like this, that is completely fine. But just keep in mind that, let's see, let's put this back here. As soon as you turn off the heat, the rice is going to continue to cook. And it's going to continue to soak up all the liquid, okay? So that's why I'm going to go ahead and add some milk. I'm going to put it in here because there's still some goodness in here. I am going to use full fat milk. Again, today we are splurging. We're not worried about calories today. Oh, that goodness. Okay. And I'm going to do one more. And, best part. Now after you do that, make sure you wash your hands. Okay. There we go. And continue to stir. Now I'm going to turn it down just a tad. Now from here, I think about 5 minutes and we can turn it off. Again, there's not a lot of liquid. It's going to reduce a little bit more, but you or your guests can add more milk as needed to loosen it up a little bit. But that's it. That is it. Your arroz con leche, Mexican style. And then you also, I will have to come back later to show you guys the flan. But the flan is already in the oven. It has about 46 more minutes to go. And then I will take it out of the oven, let it cool down a bit. And then we shall put it in the fridge. And then tomorrow, hopefully I remember to show you guys how to take it out. So that's it. You know what? Let me taste this because it smells delish. Let's see here. Very sweet. Very, very, very nutty. To a point where I need to stay away from this. All right, any questions? I don't even know what time it is. Well, thank you, and good night, and I shall see you guys later.